95-year-old gets plagued by bikers. Their faces turns pale after seeing his revenge. As the bikers noticed the older man strolling down the road, they saw him as an easy target for their mischief. Brimming with confidence, they believed he would be no challenge. Unbeknownst to them, their assumptions were about to be tested in an unexpected way. Eager for the thrill, they revved their engines, preparing to close in on the seemingly unsuspecting man. The trio, full of youthful arrogance, underestimated his potential to surprise them. But before we start, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our upcoming stories. As the bikers closed in around Earl, the air was thick with tension and threat. One daring biker pushed Earl to the ground, trying to assert his dominance by forcing him to his knees. The gang, unaware of Earl's inner fortitude, began to mock him. Despite their jeers and laughter, Earl stayed composed and undisturbed. Not a hint of fear? A biker declared, his voice tinged with both disbelief and reluctant respect. Earl remained steadfast, a figure of calm in the midst of their scornful storm. Earl's serene demeanor infuriated the bikers, who were baffled by how a frail man could stand his ground so confidently. The confrontation escalated when one of the bikers abruptly undermined Earl's efforts. A powerful kick sent Earl crashing onto the cold stone floor. This aggressive move showed their intent to dominate, but they underestimated Earl's resilience. His phone slid across the ground, crushed under the biker's boot. Despite their relentless attempts to intimidate the elderly man, a sudden intervention forced the bikers to halt their harassment. Two police officers on bicycles, patrolling nearby, noticed the tense scene, a vulnerable elderly man and aggressive bikers. As the bikers sped away, their rapid exit sharply contrasted with the slower pace of the pursuing officers on bicycles. As the police officers approached, Earl's insistence on independence was clear. He declined their help, determined to stand on his own. This refusal highlighted his pride and resilience after the ordeal, showcasing his strength and composure. The officers were surprised to find him relatively unscathed, with just a few scratches. Following standard procedure, officers planned to escort Earl to the station for details on his attackers. This step was crucial for gathering evidence and identifying the bikers, marking the start of the justice process. Knowing the bikers' reputation, the officers realized this wasn't isolated. Earl showed willingness to cooperate but drew a firm line at going to the station. The officers were baffled by Earl's refusal to press charges. Despite their insistence and the chance to seek justice against the bikers, Earl's disinterest left them perplexed, struggling to understand his lack of action. Despite the police's efforts to elicit more detailed cooperation from Earl, it quickly became apparent that their persistence would not yield the desired results. Earl remained resolute, his voice firm and unyielding. Hidden from view, a curious biker watched the exchange between Earl and the police officers. Earl's calm stance during the questioning intrigued the biker, who was fascinated by the old man's unshakable resolve. This moment provided insight into the biker's mindset, revealing a mix of curiosity and speculation about Earl's demeanor and the reasons behind it. The bikers were perplexed by Earl's reaction, unable to understand his lack of interest in retribution and refusal to cooperate with the police. From his concealed position, the biker's thoughts raced as he tried to decipher Earl's stoicism. This speculation revealed the biker's attempt to understand what drove Earl's calm response, highlighting the complexity of human behavior and the myriad interpretations it can evoke in others. Earl's calm defiance was unsettling. The bikers had anticipated fear, but Earl's composed demeanor deepened the mystery surrounding him. As Earl answered the officers' questions with a calm, measured demeanor, the biker's fascination grew. This interaction revealed a depth to Earl's character, challenging the biker's assumptions and drawing him further into the mystery. The biker was caught in a storm of theories and speculation about Earl. The idea of Earl having a hidden past or secret connections intrigued the bikers. Rushing back to his fellow bikers, the observing rider eagerly shared details of Earl's encounter with the police. Their gathering in a busy parking lot turned into a lively debriefing session, where they analyzed every nuance of Earl's demeanor and responses. This exchange highlighted their fascination with Earl's behavior and its impact on their perceptions and plans. He was like a statue, unshakable. One biker marveled. Earl's steadfast composure quickly became legend among them. The bikers, intrigued and skeptical, gathered around, their faces a mix of curiosity and disbelief as they heard about Earl. In the dimly lit confines of their hideout, a sense of conspiracy filled the air as the bikers reached a unanimous decision. They resolved to investigate Earl more deeply, marking a shift in focus, driven by curiosity and a desire to uncover what lay beneath his stoic exterior. This choice set them on a path of investigation and surveillance. United in their pursuit, the bikers were eager to unravel the mystery surrounding Earl. Gathered around a rudimentary map, the bikers plotted their moves with purpose and cunning. They discussed how to discreetly tail Earl, learn his routines, and map out his daily life, marking a shift from random intimidation to focused observation. This planning was driven by their growing fascination with Earl's secrets. Their operation was meticulously organized, with each biker assigned a role. The night was devoted to meticulous preparation as each biker fine-tuned their role for the surveillance operation. Motorcycles were readied, routes memorized, and alibis crafted, reflecting their determination and attention to detail. As dawn broke, the bikers set off with anticipation and resolve, eager to unravel the mysteries surrounding Earl and satisfy their growing curiosity. As the bikers followed Earl at a discreet distance, their assumptions were shattered when he led them into a lush, upscale neighborhood. Their surprise, a mix of disbelief and curiosity, forced them to reevaluate their perceptions of Earl. Approaching his residence, the bikers were struck by the opulence of manicured lawns and grand homes, contrasting sharply with their expectations. "Looks like we've hit the jackpot," they whispered, astonished by Earl's affluence. From afar, the bikers watched as Earl's extravagant lifestyle unfolded, revealing a grand home that defied their expectations and challenged their view of him as an easy target. This surprising glimpse into his world heightened their curiosity, leading to a more focused observation. The sight of luxury cars and well-dressed visitors at Earl's residence sparked intense speculation. Under a nearby tree, the bikers huddled, minds racing with speculation. A half-joking remark about hidden treasure revealed their growing fascination with Earl's wealth and possibilities it suggested. This shift from intimidation to curiosity was fueled by the surprise discovery of Earl's luxurious lifestyle. As they surveyed Earl's neighborhood, the bikers were stunned. The stark contrast between their gritty streets and Earl's upscale surroundings highlighted the disparity between their experiences and his reality. They realized Earl might be concealing his identity, deepening the mystery they were determined to solve. The bikers' surveillance of Earl evolved into a detailed investigation, uncovering his affluent lifestyle with each new insight. Once seen as a frail old man, Earl's identity as a resident of a prestigious neighborhood shocked them, challenging their assumptions and sparking intense curiosity about what other secrets he might be hiding. As the bikers observed Earl's lavish lifestyle, their initial curiosity turned into a more calculating pursuit. This moment marked a change in their focus, as Earl's apparent riches began to outweigh their original interest in him. Hidden in the shadows, their conversation shifted to the treasures Earl's home might contain. In the dim glow of their hideout, the conversation shifted to Earl's wealth. The bikers pictured his home as a trove of valuables, fueling their fantasies of escaping financial woes. What started as idle talk soon turned into serious contemplation of burglary. "This could be our biggest score yet," one biker said, as the prospect of robbing Earl's home tempted them with the promise of a lucrative heist. Huddled around a map of Earl's neighborhood, the bikers plotted with intense zeal. They discussed entry points, escape routes, and obstacles, shifting from casual observation to serious heist planning. "We've got to get this right," they agreed, guided by the vision of Earl's home filled with imagined treasures. Earl, with his modest demeanor and solitary life, became a prime target for the bikers. This perception fueled their determination, viewing Earl as an opportunity to solve their financial issues through robbery. This moment of planning marked the culmination of their observations. The final plan was meticulously crafted, with each biker understanding their role in the heist, leading to a decision to target the wealth in Earl's home. Earl's house stood as the focus of their risky but promising venture. As they entered their clubhouse, an unexpected hostility filled the air. The sudden attack by their supposed allies caught them completely off guard, turning their sanctuary into a chaotic battleground of fists, shouts, and betrayal. The bikers scrambled to defend themselves, realizing with shock that the camaraderie they once valued had been replaced by conflict and confusion. Amidst the chaos, the bikers fought back desperately, their minds racing to understand the betrayal that shattered their unity. The bikers made a swift getaway, their engines roaring in sync with their chaotic thoughts. The night air rushed past, offering a brief escape from the chaos they had fled. At a safe distance, the bikers regrouped under dim streetlights, confronting the harsh truth that their gang was fractured. The unity they once took for granted lay in ruins, leaving them to navigate an uncertain reality. The betrayal from within struck deeper than any physical fight, severing the trust that bound them and leaving them to question everything they once believed. In the dim light of an abandoned warehouse, the bikers huddled around a crumpled bounty notice with their faces, issued by their own gang leader. This revelation confirmed their worst fears, marking them as outcasts in a world they once ruled. Their leader had turned them into prey, exposing them to those driven by greed. The bikers sat in stunned silence, grappling with the fact that their leader had betrayed them. This new reality settled heavily on their shoulders as they faced the implications of being pursued by those they once considered family. This betrayal cut deeper than any wound, forcing them to reevaluate everything they believed. Determined to uncover why their fate had shifted so drastically, the bikers reached out to their dwindling network of contacts. Navigating the city's underbelly, each hushed conversation was fraught with tension, the constant fear of discovery making the once familiar streets feel alien and perilous. Their quest for answers led them to a grimy, neon-lit bar. A former ally, eyes darting nervously, revealed the truth amid the dim lighting and hushed tones. As the ally spoke, shocking revelations emerged, painting a complex picture of betrayal. It became clear their fixation on Earl had unwittingly dragged them into a conflict far beyond their grasp. Their leader's fierce reaction was a defense of hidden interests, exposing them to powerful adversaries they weren't ready for. As they came to terms with their dire situation, a deep sense of isolation replaced the camaraderie they once enjoyed. With few options and threats closing in, their plan to rob Earl shifted from a pursuit of easy money to a desperate bid for survival. In the dim light of an abandoned garage, the bikers convened, faces etched with desperation. They were cornered with no escape. The cold, oil-scented garage became their makeshift council room. This pivotal choice was not just about greed, but a desperate grasp at hope in a world that had turned against them. Robbing Earl, once just a target, had become their lifeline. The weight of their decision was a stark reminder of their desperate situation. Fully aware of the risks, the bikers reinforced their resolve. Earl's home, once a mere symbol of unclaimed wealth, had become their final stand against a dire situation. The heist was a desperate leap into the unknown, a gamble they had no choice but to take in the hopes of escaping the encroaching darkness. In the seclusion of their hideout, the bikers meticulously planned the heist. They mapped out Earl's residence, strategizing entry and exit points, discussing security measures, and assigning roles. This was a mission like no other, charged with tension and determination. Earl had become the centerpiece of their desperate bid for redemption. Under the cloak of darkness, the bikers approached Earl's house, their hearts pounding with a mix of adrenaline and apprehension. This was the moment of truth, the culmination of all their planning. As they slipped through Earl's unguarded entrance, a sense of unease crept over the bikers. The absence of alarms or guards, the silence of the house, made it feel as though their presence was expected, adding to their growing apprehension. Inside, the bikers swiftly began to collect valuables. Each item they pocketed brought them closer to their goal, yet the silence of the house, the absence of any challenge, made their success feel hollow. The tension rose with every unguarded step, the ease of entry heightening their sense of foreboding. With each passing minute, the bikers grew more astonished by the lack of resistance. This unnerving absence turned a straightforward burglary into a maze of uncertainty. As the bikers moved through the dimly lit corridors, laden with their loot, Earl suddenly emerged from the shadows. His presence was startling, but more so was his demeanor, a calm, almost pleased expression on his face. Earl stood before them, not as a frightened victim, but with an unsettling calmness. His smile, neither warm nor welcoming, seemed to hold a hidden meaning. Surrounded and outnumbered, the bikers were captured by their former comrades. The familiar faces of their gang members, now cold and accusatory, encircled them. The transition from friends to captors was bitter. Once confident in their unity, the bikers were powerless, ensnared by those they trusted. Disarmed and restrained, the sting of betrayal was sharp. The house they saw as salvation became their prison. Caught in their web, their fate was uncertain in the hands of those they deceived. In the tense silence that followed their capture, the harsh truth was revealed. Earl and the gang leader explained the night's events, exposing the betrayal that led to their downfall. Each revelation pieced together the puzzle, stripping away their autonomy. They realized the heist had been a trap, a painful awakening to their grave miscalculation. Their actions had led them into the snare that now held them captive. The depth of their error was unmistakably clear. The bikers were escorted back to the clubhouse, once a symbol of brotherhood, but now a den of betrayal. Inside the clubhouse, the harsh reality of their situation settled in. The bikers, once proud and defiant, now sat defeated and betrayed. The air was thick with tension, the silence broken only by creaking chairs and muffled sounds. Once filled with laughter and camaraderie, the space had transformed into their prison. Realizing their gang's betrayal was a stark reminder of their world's volatility. Each man faced the consequences of the failed heist, pondering their uncertain future. In the tense atmosphere of the clubhouse, Earl's true identity was revealed. He was not merely a wealthy old man, but a key player in the criminal sector, serving as a middleman with extensive connections, including a close friendship with the gang leader. This revelation dramatically shifted their understanding of Earl and their world. The man they had underestimated was, in fact, a linchpin in the criminal underworld, a realization that reshaped their perception of the stakes involved. The gang leader explained that Earl's reluctance to involve the police and his wealth were part of a broader network of criminal activities, uncovering a web of intrigue and alliances the bikers hadn't seen. Misjudging Earl's significance was a critical error, leading them into the trap that ensnared them. Earl's low profile was strategic camouflage, hiding his true nature. Earl was not an easy target, but a formidable player in a larger game. The story ends with the bikers facing a dangerous and uncertain future. Their choices, driven by greed and desperation, led them down a perilous path. The consequences now cast a dark shadow over their lives as they grapple with being outcasts and targets. The road ahead is unpredictable, marked by betrayal and harsh lessons. Standing at a critical crossroads, their fate hangs in the balance, with every path fraught with risk and their future shrouded in uncertainty. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another unbelievable tale like this one.